Back in the late 90s and early 2000s, the internet was a completely different world, packed with flashy websites and quirky gimmicks. These old website features might seem extremely dated now, but at the time, they were groundbreaking staples of internet culture. This is my top 10 list of forgotten South Park website trends from the dial-up era. Number 10. Website designs. Websites back then were typically cluttered with a lot of news updates, graphics, and links. Most of the sites featured these sidebars that were full of links to subpages. However, despite this sense of organization, the pages themselves had a messy and confusing layout, often making them difficult to navigate. Yet somehow, there was just something kind of fun about that. Number 9. Web rings and links. These were networks of fan-created websites where visitors could discover other sites that were hard to find through search engines, because long before social media platforms, web rings were an internet trend that allowed niche communities to flourish within a decentralized digital landscape. This is certainly a long-lost art, as it's rare today for website owners to encourage visitors to leave their site to explore another. Number 8. Retro artwork. While fan art is still common online today, there was a certain charm to the unique low-resolution graphics of 90s artwork. The GIFs in particular, though dated now, were very impressive at the time, because internet speeds were atrociously slow, and seeing a looping animation loaded within seconds was like witnessing the first ever form of on-demand video. One trend that garnered significant attention was 3D art, due to the rise of 3D modeling software and the introduction of 3D graphics in video games and movies. Plus, it was a novel and eye-catching visual to South Park fans. Number 7. What Kenny says. In the first couple of years of South Park's run, there was no official source online on what Kenny said in the episodes through his muffled voice. So to begin with, fans only went by rumored translations that were shared around the online community. Sometimes what he said was fairly obvious within the context of the scene, and sometimes it was so unclear that it had to be a wild guess. Number 6. Desktop themes. In the late 90s, Windows 95 and 98 were the dominant operating systems. With that, custom desktop themes became widely available on South Park fan sites. Dressing up your desktop like this was trendy at the time because the 90s marked the era when computers became truly mainstream. For many, it was exciting to use a PC as more than just a tool. It became a canvas for self-expression, with customized wallpapers, icons, and color schemes reflecting your personal interests. Number 5. Screensavers. Back in the days of bulky CRT monitors, using screensavers was a necessary practice to prevent burn-in. While most computers came with built-in options, there was a large selection of free South Park-themed screensavers available to download online. Picking the one that suited you best was always a fun and personal experience. There were official ones, but there were also fan-made ones. Although cruder in animation and style, they had that unmatched charm of the raw 90s aesthetic. Number 4. Flash games. The appeal with these was that they allowed South Park fans to dive into casual gaming without any cost or lengthy downloads. These types of games required very minimal system resources compared to other games. They were easy to play and often designed for short play sessions, so they were perfect for quick distractions during breaks at school or at work. Number 3. Fan-made video games. Software like the Games Factory, Multimedia Fusion, and Click and Play were easy-to-learn platforms that allowed users to create their own video games that could be installed onto Windows operating systems. It was perfect for South Park fans because the retro 2D platformer games these programs could create complemented the show's simple animations and designs. These tools allowed for rapid prototyping and experimentation, giving fans the opportunity to express their love for the show in ways that felt both fun and personal. Number 2. Downloadable media. While still common on the modern internet, it was a whole different thing back in the late 90s. Back then, there were dedicated pages for downloading sound files, still images, and video clips from the show. and the quality was far lower than anything you could find online today. One popular media player at the time was RealPlayer. While QuickTime produced better quality images, RealPlayer's native codecs were optimized to run smoother and more efficiently within the limitations of dial-up internet, making real media files a popular choice for streaming and downloading directly to your computer. Number 1. Flash animations. Back in the late 90s, Macromedia Flash revolutionized the World Wide Web by enabling creators to build fast-loading interactive experiences for websites, games, and animated content. Flash used vector-based graphics, meaning images could be scaled larger without any loss of quality. There was a list of reanimated South Park scenes for fans to enjoy on the Comedy Central website and shockwave.com. And with on-demand streaming services still years away, it was a groundbreaking feature that redefined the convenience and accessibility of dial-up internet. A typical South Park Flash animation on these sites was about 1 minute long and less than 1 megabyte in size. Yet, it still took about 2 to 3 minutes to load the cartoon. So while you waited, you could play a puzzle game or answer some questions about the show. While these may have been the most well-known Flash animations in the South Park community, there were also a significant number of fan-made animations, which provided aspiring animators a great opportunity to showcase their work and connect with fellow South Park fans. Flash was acquired by Adobe in 2005, but in December 2020, Flash Player was discontinued. Then, in January 2021, Adobe officially disabled Flash content from running completely. While the modern internet offers conveniences we now take for granted, the fond memories of the dial-up era remain with those who grew up with its limitations, because back then, we did not know any different.